representing direct automation, and we've been busy helping ethanol plants do automation from simple loop tuning all the way up to complete DCS migrations for a while now. And because of these projects, 3,000 tags with over 1 million data points a day coming in just from your DCS alone, we found ourselves in the trenches of data mining issues that ethanol plants have to overcome every day. We found data mining has been hard, but the efforts do not go unrewarded, and they have made companies more successful. The most successful companies in this room mine data. Even though it's tedious work, it often leads you to your gut reaction anyway. You go through all those steps and processes just to find out you should do what you thought you were going to do in the first place. But, as Mr. Edward Deming said, without data, you're just another person with an opinion. So data mining can also be erroneous and ignite confrontation, but successful companies still swear by it. It also costs lots of money in sensors, databases, computer horsepower, and engineers' time. So why do successful companies go through all this pain for data mining? Well, the purpose is to get smarter action, not just to be smarter. Being smart doesn't pay the bills, right? How many people in this room know somebody who's smart doesn't seem to get it right? Being smart and actually using those smarts to make decisions pays the bills. That's where the rubber meets the road. The data they collect is collected and transformed into information in charts and tables, which is then interpreted to obtain knowledge that can be used to make better decisions and lead to smarter action. I don't have to drill this into you. This is pretty simple. You know it's true. You know improving decisions can lead to a better ROI. So what does data mining, what is the process of data mining that actually turns that data into smart action? Well, here it is. And I know many of the people in this room either know this, actually seen this map, or they know it in some way or another just from doing it a bunch of times. But I just bring it up to discuss how people feel about doing the specific tasks and how direct automation's new product can help. But very quickly, in problem definition, your team is brainstorming the problems, what the problems are, and the information needed to convey that information. And then you gather the data. You're going to different databases, compiling the data on synchronized times and rules, and then you're putting that data into relevant graphs in the model building stage, charts, things like that. And then someone has to finally interpret that data during daily problems. And obviously, the more times you see that chart, the better. You become familiar with it. Inspiration doesn't happen automatically. You have to look at it plenty of times, and maybe one day in the shower, eureka. Well, hopefully you'll be getting that knowledge, and then you'll be able to get smarter action. After breaking the process down like this, it's very obvious to me where people like or even love to be. Most people love being here and here, right? Well, to me, the problem definition stage is like Paris, right? It's young love. This is where it's romantic and ideas are fun and they're sexy. Everyone gets a chance to be the smartest person in the room right there. Brainstorming and inspiration and the promise of future rewards are hard thoughts to hate. And the other place people love to be is down here, right? This is Vegas, the knowledge deployment stage. This is where you're partying because you just found a big solution to a problem. And no feeling compares to finding a solution to a big problem like being in Vegas. Also you could lose it all, I guess, if the data doesn't convey what you thought it would, and come out with nothing, but that's how it works. Yes, everybody loves to start at the end of the data mining process, but what about this middle, data gathering and model building?
Mars. The air, not breathable. The surface, cold and barren. But thousands are lining up for a chance to go and never come back. South Dakota, progressive, productive, and abundant in oxygen. Why die on Mars when you can live in South Dakota? South Dakota.
Yeah, you can live there. But most people, they don't think of that. that at home, but direct automation just happens to be headquartered in South Dakota. So we think data gathering and model building is another day in paradise. And, you know, obviously, nobody thought data mining people were comedians, but we try. But to be honest, the tedious tasks involved in data gathering and model building, they drain all the fun out of the first and last stage. You know, nobody really wants to go through and mine through all those databases, go through your DCS, your lab, and everything, just to synchronize stuff, calling and emailing people to gain access, doing the same thing day in and day out. It's painful work. And it's not fun. Nobody wants to do it. If nobody wants to do it, nobody's going to do it, at least not very often. And you're not going to see those charts every day, and you're not going to be gaining the knowledge. And if you aren't getting the knowledge, you aren't getting that smarter action. So, why do these steps drain all the fun out of data mining? Well, the problem we found at hand at most ethanol plants is that there's no single collection point. Therefore, your data is in many different forms, is in database types, and managed by different teams of people. Because the data is unsynchronized and the rules for organizing the data are different. This makes it very costly to set up graphs and also to set up a homegrown multi-database automatic chart generating platform at your plant, independent. But what if you could gather all the data at your plant in one integrated location? What if all your data was in one spot and organized by the same rules? What if the location did not edit data, so you know your data was never compromised? And what if that tool automatically developed real-time charts? And what if you could combine all of that and just see it every day easily? Direct automation saw this opportunity to fix this, and we knew we could relieve the daily pains people feel with data mining at ethanol plants. And that's why we made Pi in the Sky. It's the most user-friendly, comprehensive, secure data integration solution on the market. You can put it in your control rooms, your boardrooms, at your desk, home computers, tablets, and you can get your data quickly with ease. First, and most importantly, it combines all your data points into one access point, and it synchronizes them using standard rules of for database management, and makes sure your data is uncompromised and comparable. This alone is an awesome feat. To get all of your data organized in an easy-to-use, searchable location is the foremost achievement of Pie in the Sky. As this image illustrates, commodities, lab, internet, you know, if you got things coming from the market, CMMS, financial, DCS, third-party data, can all go in and be in your master database. Now, data is important, especially your data, right? So even though this slide is a bit on the boring side, I feel I should quickly go over it. Data is collected in a SOX-compliant environment. The portal is hosted on dedicated servers in a Tier 2 classification data center. Data is stored in real time, providing up-to-date visibility of your data for 24/7, monitoring and support. Your existing data, both electronic and paper, can be implemented at time of deployment, and data can be exportable and available indefinitely. Pie in the Sky enables your plant to have a data hub that is secure and easy to maintain. But now that your data is in one spot, watch the magic happen, right? You combine ethanol output and market prices, build charts integrating lab, process, and market data with calculations previously only available in Excel. Set up text and email alerts when deviations to data happen, so you can get a text on your phone. And we have secure Windows integration. So there's no extra logins once you are logged into your computer at your site. These are the main features of Pie in the Sky that clients use every day. You'll get real-time updating charts that incorporate a data stream that is connected to Pie in the Sky. So any data streams that are in there, you can combine them and incorporate them any way you want. Plants have multiple users, so each user can have their own personal dashboard. So your maintenance manager could have his CMS stuff on his dashboard, and your process guy could have DCS and lab stuff integrated on his dashboard. And then you can have, there's also tank level security for each user, so you can deny access to any user, any data point feed. So if you don't want an employee seeing something as simple as the oil flow on your oil production, you can deny access to that and allow all the other data to go. So it's not just database access, it's actually down to a tag level. And you can use pie in the sky from any internet-capable device. We still depend on you for problem definition. Paris. Direct automation does not know the problems you need to solve at your plant, so your knowledge is needed to define the problem. Basically, you'll call us what you need, and we'll set the autopilot. Not just you, but anyone that is a user can call and get their own graph set up. It is all priced like an all-you-can-eat buffet. So when you call, just keep the calls coming. We're not going to charge you per graph. It's a service fee. So once you pay your monthly bill, you get as many calls as you want. And it's noteworthy to note that all the charts are interactive, filtering, zooming, exportable, and date modifications can be made. So no rigid charts of the past. They're not necessary anymore. So I just went over how you do the problem definition because you're better at it. But likewise, you're also better at analyzing the charts. So you do that too, but the only difference is you get to see these graphs all the time in real time. So you will be doing the knowledge of the deployment, Las Vegas. Your team members define the graphics on a user level. So you can have a company-wide dashboard for your control room, boardroom, that circulates every 10 seconds. But when you log into your own personal site, you see the KPIs that you are interested in. And your lab manager, when he or she logs in, they see the graphs they are interested in. Many different types of visualizations are available. Each is drillable, filterable, zoomable, exportable. These are examples of radar charts, line graphs, bar charts, and maps. This map incorporates bubbles, so you can kind of see where your corn's being procured from. Bigger bubbles, that's where your corn came from. Smaller bubbles, less. You can drill in on those points. You can sync your process and lab data to make enzyme dosing charts, and you can test your facility to find the optimal dosing of enzymes, so you can find that out for yourself. But as you can see, it'll put confidence bands in for you automatically. And you can sync your operator logs with your process data and lab to find out who the best operators are. Find out who might need a little more training. Maybe even ask somebody up here to go train them. You can overlay operator logs to your process trends. So if you see strange spikes, you don't have to go pull out that logbook. You just check a mark. The operator logs will be time-stamped in there, and you'll see that they're bringing the plant up there. So you don't have to run around crazy for a day. You figure it out right away. All these points are drillable, so you can click on that, find out who entered it, so you can give them a call within 2 minutes. You can add a third dimension with color. So as you look down here, we'll have red and blue. Dark red tips are different pH, and the blue is base. So what will happen is if all the tips are red or blue, you might have a relationship that you can take advantage of. You can overlay your CMMS and financials to see where you're spending your money. So you can see if a big block is there, you might be spending too much on bearings or motors. You can analyze your fermentations and review them in a batch over batch analysis and get information and compare them to your standard and optimal batches. Now these are just, and there's also non-specific plant data that you can bring in. So market analysis, market price data, weather, you can bring that in. Weather data can be collected, including current and forecasted temperature, precipitation, and humidity, which can be used for giving you alerts on when to operate your chiller. Market price data for commodities is also available. And you can put those in maps too to see where you're getting the best price for your grain. Other publicly available data sources can be incorporated with a simple data scraping tool. Future features. So this is a new product. It is growing, and we've already been incorporating some of these, but private company document library. So when you log in, there's kind of like a system much like Dropbox, only more secure, that you can store SOPs, IO lists, MSDSs, so people have access to them right away. You have the potential to sync with plant simulation software to find bottlenecks and pinch points. Company improves sharing with vendors as possible, tag level security. So again, With pie in the sky, if an ethanol plant wants to add a user that's actually a vendor, you can give them just access to your distillation data, not your fermentation, not your lab, not your financials. If they're a distillation vendor, they won't see that. The site will have ethanol industry accessible page for selling extra inventory to other pie in the sky members. So also for sourcing parts. They'll also have a forum for discussions of process improvements that all the pie in the sky members in the ethanol industry will be able to share. Now that little section could be private or not private. It's up to you what you want to share and what you don't want to share when you sign the contract. And finally, anonymous benchmarking reports will be available as we add more customers if you want to opt in for that. For average KPIs for industry peers as pie in the sky grows. But they'll be real time and there'll be actual data from the sensors. Manual data gathering and model building. Right now, all the model building and gathering is like a batch process. Currently, you have to find the databases, give permission to use it, sync the data, inoculate the data with a chart, graph, or map, and make those visualizations as often as possible so it can ferment in your mind and make knowledge, right? Well, direct automation can set this up for you so you can spend most of your time viewing the data with pie in the sky product and less time hunting down data in graphs. This way, you can spend more time in Paris, more time in Vegas, and less time on Mars. In short, pie in the sky keeps you in the fun parts of data mining while enabling all of your team members steady, constant access to the information you want to see in the format you want to see it. I'm Carson Berkland, chemical engineer, MBA, PMP, captivated by automation since the cruise control. I discovered that. And then just want to help you be more efficient with your data so you can see it more often. You can find me on LinkedIn. There's my email address and phone number. But thank you.
Thank you, Carson. All right, I'd like to move things along quickly so you can hear from our presenters instead of me. So I'm just going to move right on to Bobby Anderson. He's the CEO of NCAT. Is that the way you say it, Bobby? NCAT. All right.